Hey everyone, it's your pal Drew Geraci, your very bestest pal on your very favorite channel on YouTube. At least that's what I'm working for. Longtime comic book industry veteran for 30 years for Marvel, DC, Crossgen, Dark Horse, IDW, Image, and a little bit of everybody else. So, now this episode is sponsored by me. I do commissions. This is a pencil and ink that I did. I was trying to tap a little bit into the Barry Windsor Smith style a little bit on there. I don't know if I was successful, but I definitely went for the Art Adams, you know, on that stuff. And this is a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with that. And I like doing the Batarang at an angle. So, and this was I light boxed this. This is a Dick Giordano sketch. From later in his life, because the anatomy is a little odd, like his face is a little too long. So I added my super secret sauce, and it was fun, man. I met the guy, and I was so gobsmacked by how much I loved his stuff. And I told him, I said, you know, thank you for never doing a bad job ever. And he seemed very humble about it. Now, cover recreations, I do them 11 by 17, actual size of current comic covers. This is all hand done, including the lettering and Tales of Suspense. It's so much fun. And what I did is I tweaked it a little bit. I made the Cosmic Cube the light source, so there were shadows under there and there, whereas before he had ambient light. So much fun, so much fun. And there's another one I haven't shown yet. Iron Fist 14, first appearance of Sabretooth. And it's based on Cockrum's cover. Man, I love doing that. So, and Daredevil, a little of everybody. A little bit of Gene Colan action there with Frank Giacoia. And yeah, so I did that 11 by 17. And if you want to discuss rates, I'm pretty reasonable. Contact me at DrewGeraciComics at gmail.com. So, now, okay. Nova, the first year I loved it because I had Sal Buscema. And here's the thing. Marv Wolfman, I've always maintained that he was an excellent plotter, excellent at plotting, and but I never really, his scripts really didn't, I don't know, they just didn't do anything for me. And I think when he finally got to co-create / own New Teen Titans, I think that's when he really found his voice. You know, because at the time, he was writing like Len Wein, who was writing like Gary Conway, who was writing like everybody else. So this was Carmen Infantino, who I was not a fan of, and the Tribe, which means Tony DeZuniga and a bunch of people in the studio, a lot of other Filipino artists. But I don't think there's no like top ones like Rudy Nebres and Alex Nino. And it's kind of, I mean, it's a cool story, and you know, what's weird is that Carmen Infantino did. I mean, he was on the inside cover of Superman vs. Spider-Man, which was it was a huge selling book, big Treasury edition. And then like a year later, he's freelancing for Marvel. I always wonder what happened. And I don't know if he was gone before the DC implosion happened. I mean, that happened in 78 or so. He was already doing this stuff. But the storytelling is good. I like that, where Fury gets knocked out by a wave. I mean, there's some great stuff in here, but some of it's awkward. But that's just me being. I like that. He could have been a little closer, but at least you got the whole. You know, probably it looks better with the full figure. And the day is saved, and his. Rich Rider's father was in jail for something. Oh, give me a second. It's been so long. Okay, hang on. Charles Ryder, because of your previous clean record and your willingness to cooperate with the grand jury, you are hereby free on no bail until trial commences. Good luck, Mr. Ryder. Thank you, sir. You won't regret it. So he's a teacher, I think. Yeah. Oh, he's like, I can't remember if he's a teacher or a scientist or whatever, but it's weird because the interaction between them, the acting is good, but the dialogue is just there. It's almost like a lot of these characters barely know each other. However, this is an emotional moment where Rich says he's going to stick around more often. You know, he's still going to be Nova. He doesn't tell him just yet. But it's okay. It's just that everybody talks like adults. And that's the thing that's a bit awkward. Now, I mean, this is a nice setup, and it's a pretty good conversation. I do like it. It's just that there needs to be a little more, I don't know how you can put it. Blackout, great character. But, yeah, I mean, I still liked it, but you believe it or not, I actually quit the book with issue 22, which had the comment in it, because it was just it was really spinning its wheels. It just wasn't a good book at that point. And I have the trade paperbacks, but I'm not going to upgrade to an omnibus. So, No Prize book came out in 83 or 84. Marvel was doing a ton of direct sales only comics. And this is by Michael Golden, believe it or not, because nobody demanded it, it says. So it's got a little bit everybody in the production working on this. Let's see. Yeah, it starts off with, and now Superman, I grow bored with this game. My time is too valuable. And this is really awkward. The original X-Men are working on stuff, and Marvel Girl telekinetically moves a screwdriver. Here are your pliers, Hank. You're a credit to your gender, Jeannie. It's like, good Lord. Embarrassing. It's like, youch. And then there's the famous Mr. Fantastic gets thrown out of a building, but he's got a third hand up by where Bachismo was. And similarly, he has two left hands here. And you know what? I would never have noticed that until this book came out. And Hulk's got 3 toes. Grim Reaper puts his mask on, but a second later he has his scythe. So Cap gets rid of the 3 sleepers, but then in the next issue, first page, he's falling from an explosion without any. A lot of great fun stuff, and even let's see, Captain Barracuda. Kind of a lame character. I don't know if he was a submariner fellow or not. He's looking out through his eye patch eye. It's great stuff. It's so wacky, but it's fun. Well, Cap's shield gets disintegrated, but in the next scene, when they get freed, he has a shield. So, woo. And they spell Pharaoh wrong in big, shaky black letters twice. Out of those little wheels coming down. No. Oh. And Marvel 2 on 1 instead of 2 in 1. A lot of funny stuff. Such a great graphic novel. God. And then here's the most famous one where he says, only one of us is going to walk out of here under his own steam. And it won't be me. So, fun. Freak Force, number 1. It's early in the, early 94. So, I don't know if sales are still doing great or not. I did a cover. I assisted Dave Johnson on the cover to issue 11, which I don't have handy right now. But it's a fun group. And a lot of these characters are characters that Eric Larson created as a kid. And Vic Bridges, who graduated from like Eternity Comics and all that, I like her a lot. What's her name? Let's see. I don't know. I can't remember her name, but she's cool. And Mighty Man is just basically his Larson's Captain Marvel. And Vic Bridges is very inspired by John Byrne. And Ricochet I like. I love that costume. She just bounces around like the Beast. Really, really cool stuff. A lot of fun. Whack. What is her name again? Horridus. I guess because she's horrible. But I love that. What a great, what a powerful character. I'd buy a miniseries of that. Now, I'm doing the new universe now. Spitfire and the Troubleshooters. Well, interesting. And I skipped the new universe like many people because there were already so many titles by Marvel coming out that creating a new universe was just, it was just eating into. People wanted books they knew, and to have like 8 new titles on top of your regular Marvel DC books, it was just asking for too much. And that was sort of a upstairs sort of thing, the bean counters wanting to do that. And but you know, for the first issue, it's pretty good. And there's a redhead gal. Her nickname was Spitfire when she was a girl. And Elliot Brown, who's usually known for doing technical stuff like, you know, these wheels and all that, and John Morelli did the plot, Gary Conway did the script, Herb Trimpe did the pencils, Joe Sennett and Tom Morgan did the inks, and let me tell you, they do a fantastic job. They really elevate the art. Nice 3-panel there. In fact, part of the time, I don't even think it looks like Trimpe, but you know, he just since it was the first issue, maybe Trimpe just said, you know, I'm going to give this my all. And not that he doesn't do it, just he's like, hey, I want to sell this book. I want it to do well. New Universe. I always love that ad though with the. And the whole theory behind New Universe is there are no what was it? No other dimensions. There are no. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it was. It's like it was the window outside, the universe outside your window, and apparently there was like different things. I can't remember what it was. There was like limitations. There wasn't superheroes like floating around. It was just them having to, I don't know, not like blatant costume superheroes. I guess you had some people superpowers that were, it was a secret. You know, you didn't go out and say it. Chances are, you know, you get the National Guard on you or something. So she fits right into Spitfire. And I love it. Kind of looks like Maximilian from the Black Hole movie, but not as scrawny. So it's pretty fun, and it does have a decent pacing. That's the image I like. I wonder who came up with that. Who came up with that? So it's fun, you know, and it's like I almost would continue buying the series, but I've got other books to buy. Oh, anyway, here's the one thing though. They've got 3 tractor trailers and has all their equipment set up, and it's gonna be hard to be on the down low, even in the mid 80s. You know, I mean, they could be spotted from the air somehow. I don't know what they would have. Maybe that would. I don't know. So, but yeah, I thought it was gonna be horrible, but it's actually pretty good. And if it's the kind of thing you can dig, go for it. You know. And I sound so dismissive saying that. I apologize. Now, Marvel Double Feature with the Super Adaptoid. Well, coolest villain. Okay, one of the coolest, but I love that he was green. George Roussos, who was doing the colors for many years, the bad guys were green and purple. And that's actually why after the Hulk's first appearance, where he was gray with, I think, blue jeans or something, the next issue, he was purple and purple and green. So it was almost like George Roussos saw how savage the Hulk was and colored him like a villain. So I don't know. Lovely Frank Giacoia inks on that page. Oh my goodness me. And the gray background. Never get enough of that because it makes everything pop. in a previous issue, the Adaptoid took on the appearance of, I can't remember if it was the Tumbler or somebody else, or Batroc Zilipal. And they did a Marvel cartoon of this in 1966, and you know, they're all very stiff, but the voice acting is great, the music is great, the sound effects are great. God, I love that character. And what's funny is later on, when he got when he would adapt to different forms, like in Captain Marvel number 50, where he had like the Vision's head and all this stuff, I didn't like it as much. I kind of liked the limited look he had there. That's a man. That is nightmare fuel there, having this big old robot coming after you, nipping at your heels. And the debris, oh my gosh, Kirby with that debris. It just, you could almost hear it making a clank sound. There we go, another ominous image. Get a little closer here. Yeah, baby. In the cartoon, I remember they used this image and they flipped it to make it look like he's doing upside down, you know, what do they call, sit-ups. And this panel here was actually photostated and used on Avengers number 35's cover. So check it out. And lovely, lovely. Then we get, oh, this fell out, big deal. Gene Colan and Frank Giacoia again. And this has to do with the Crusher. And the printing kind of falls off because Giacoia is a bold anchor. Ah, yeah. Try and shoot me. You got punks. They try and fire with a big old gun. The bigger the gun. You know, Iron Man's hearing everything. All this stuff happens in Stark Industries, Long Island. I always kind of liked that he was based in Long Island. It was just different. You know, he wasn't based in downtown New York City. And I really like, man, the printing is so off on this. It's really hard to tell, but his helmet and his body is shaking. You see his unibeam on his chest. He's like, how's that? Oh, what would that little thing do? Makes him heavier and heavier and bulkier and a bigger mass. And he decides to, you know, just weld it back shut. So, 5 comics from Ye Old Spinner Rack, and I hope you dug it. And like I said, if you want to talk about commissions or whatever, my email, I almost gave it away. It's Drew, GERACI, comics@gmail.com. And that's it. Enjoy, everybody.